Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Georgie Man and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about Chainsaw Man chapter 121. So, what did I think about this week's chapter? I personally loved this chapter. I thought this chapter was very well written, and I thought that it was heartbreaking at points. So much to a point that it really encapsulated Asa's, fragile mental state at the moment, because Fujimoto does a wonderful job in really exploring and going into in more depth into Asa's character in this chapter, and I love that. Now, before we get into this week's chapter, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all Chainsaw Man anime and manga content and going forward in the future. It would really help me out a lot, and I really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now let's get into this chapter. Now, this chapter we pick up where we left out last time, which is pretty much Yoshida and Asa meeting. And what we see is that they actually, Yoshida takes her to the Chainsaw Man fan club in the high school, the room, and, he gives her some coffee, and, he's trying to talk to her, and Asa's like, are we even allowed to be here? Because, we're not part of the club. And Yoshida's like, I think it's fine. I mean, I think we should be fine. Don't worry about it. And I thought it was funny how in that room you see literally a Chainsaw Man plushie in the background. So I thought that was adorable. Nice little touch by Fujimoto, By continuing with that, we see that pretty much Yoshida starts asking Asa, hey, what were you doing, mumbling to yourself outside of school? And then she's like, oh, I was just saying how I want to be single, and I'm just, I want to be there's no point in relationships or whatever. And Yoshida's like, you know what? You're right about that. I actually agree with that. I personally think that, living the solitary life is better. In a financial standpoint, it's good to have a relationship, so two people can help each other out and stuff. But at the same time, you do, nothing wrong with being, solitary and living, being single, whatever. And, Asa starts thinking wow, he's affirming my feelings. Wow, you know what? This is great. Oh my God. Does he like me now? And she starts blushing and, she's just Asa's right now very vulnerable, obviously, because she feels she got ditched by Denji. So she sees Yoshida show up, and Asa starts realizing you know what, maybe this guy likes me. Obviously he picked, he started talking to me, and he took me here, and he's affirming my feelings. This is good. This guy likes me. Even though he might have turned me down back then, he likes me now probably. And Yoshida continues on and just says hey, can I ask you one thing? Can I give you a request? And she's like, what? She's all blushing oh my God. And he goes, yeah, can you stay away from Denji? And Asa's like, what? She's just what? I got clickbaited, no way. And she's like, what do you mean by that? And he's just leave Denji alone, don't interfere with him at all. Just leave him, let him be. And Asa's like, it's fine, I wasn't gonna hang out with him anyway, I'm done with that. And Yoshida's like, okay, well, as long as you don't hang out with Denji, everything should be fine. There's nothing more to discuss. And Yoshida does the Giga Chad move of just goes, all right, we're done, bye-bye. And he just literally leaves. He just leaves her in the room. I'm also getting a lot of sus vibes from Yoshida, because between this chapter and, last week's chapter, as well as during the aquarium when he looks at Fami, there's something going on with him, and we don't know exactly what it is. However, I know that, he has to be involved in some way or another with whatever the situation is happening with the imposter Chainsaw Man that we know of. Because, like I said, there's a reason he told Asa, stay away from Denji. What is that? Why does that concern you, man? Is it because Denji cannot get a girlfriend, or what? We don't know. But I'm just saying that Yoshida right now is acting really strange. Now, continuing on, we see that actually Nayuta starts smelling something. She's like, what is this devil scent? I smell something. It's it smells like a really nasty devil. One of the most nastiest I've ever smelled. And she just goes tells Denji wake up, go Chainsaw Man, go save the day. And that, once again, it supports my whole thing about Yoshida being sus, because it's literally the next panel or so we see that's where Nayuta's saying all these things. So I'm guessing that that Yoshida is involved with other devils, or something's going on with him, because there's so many obvious red flags about this guy. And we see that Nayuta just tells Denji yeah, go save the day, and then just too sad because obviously Asa and him, they can't hang out anymore. And he's depressed, because he did like Asa. He didn't love her. It wasn't to the extent of Asa with Denji, but he did like her. He was actually trying to get to know her, and he went on a date with her, and he was having fun. And he's just down, like just like any teenage boy, after a bad breakup slash bad date, he's just down. And Nayuta's like, come on, it can't be that bad. And he's like, am I gonna be single forever? Like, this sucks. Like, and Nayuta's like, okay, well, what if I told you like it's better that you don't have a girlfriend? What if you, as being Chainsaw Man, you can actually get more love from people, like way more love, like way more, many more people are gonna love you than a girlfriend ever could. And then just like, okay, well, let me think about it. And then he just kind of like thinks about it, and then he's like, you know what, you're right. Like, in the typical Denji behavior, it was hilarious. So then after that, we see that Asa is walking by herself, and it's pretty sad because she looks down, like she's really down on her luck, and she seems very depressed because all the things that have happened in this day alone. She got ditched, this guy's telling her to stay away from Denji, and she's just down. Like, she just feels like she starts questioning everything, like, what do I push people away? And she's like, I suck. Like, why am I such a arrogant person? Like, I ask people for affection, yet I don't give any affection back. When she starts saying all these things, and she's like, maybe I'm better off dead. And a lot of deep, like, very emotional stuff she starts spilling to herself, and it's very sad, because we all love Asa, so we hate seeing her feel like that, because we all know that I mean, personally, I think that everybody should feel like they're worth something. So seeing an individual like Asa just going through it, it just sucks. It's really heartbreaking to see. And then you see Yoru just telling Asa, like, hey, I don't think you're bad, you're pretty cool. And Asa's like, no, just like, I suck, like, I'm a terrible. And she just goes on about, like, I just want affection, like, I just want something, like, why am I living for? Like, she's asking all these, like I said, all these deep questions. And she's at a crossroads right now. She's drowning in despair because she feels hopeless. Like, she had a good thing going on with Denji, and now she feels like everything got thrown away, and there's nothing else to life right now. It's typical high school behavior when somebody gets heartbroken. They feel like their heart has been torn apart, and they think there's nothing else. But there is something else. However, Asa doesn't know that, and she's going through the motions right now. And I'm sure that eventually, when Denji and her do get back together, because I personally think they will get back together at one point, I think it'll be a very happy moment, and Asa will finally, I think, will be genuinely happy, just like that aquarium when her and Denji were running around, that wholesomeness. Now, following that up, as Asa's contemplating all these things to herself, she sees, a guy in the floor, and, she hears screaming, and this guy looks like he just broke his leg, and you see all these people in this building just looking down at her. So I'm assuming that these people pushed him off, and, he broke his leg or something. And these, Yoru just tells Asa, step back, and Yoru takes over, and you just see all these people staring down at Yoru, and that's how the chapter ends. So personally, I think this is some scheme of Yoshida, because who else is going to target Asa at this moment in time? Or is it that or famine? And I don't think it's famine, because, like, what's her end goal right here? I mean, she is her sister after all. So I think Yoshida's up to something. I think Yoshida is trying to getting Denji's good side. I don't know why, but if I had to take a wild guess, he was asking questions in the aquarium about death. Like, so I'm guessing he wants to get close to the the death devil, perhaps one of the last of the horsemen. But with that said, I think this chapter was very, very good, and it really demonstrated Fujimoto's skill as a writer to just completely invest yourself in a character and get inside their psyche, and just feel down, like, because I personally was feeling heartbroken when I was reading the stuff that Asa was saying about herself, because we, like I said, we all love Asa and we know her worth, but right now she's trying to realize, like, she's trying to understand, what am I worth, because she doesn't have anything at the moment. For example, like, we know that Yuko, for all Asa knows, she disappears. However, we know that Yuko's dead, so her only friend disappears. Then Denji, the guy that she thought that she loved, he ditches her, quote unquote. So she's just going through a lot of stuff right now. And then Yoshida, this guy, just tells her to, like, stay away from Denji. Like, it's just thing after thing, and I think it's it's a snowball effect. It's just culminating in a big Effect on Asa's mental state, and it's very sad, because like I said, I just wish I could give Asa a big hug and just tell her it's okay, dude. You'll get through it, bro. But with that being said, what did you guys think about this week's chapter? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys love it? Did you guys think it was alright? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Chainsaw Man anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.